Hey y'all, it's Diane with Shawcraft One and my old barn door, and I am back playing with my coffee stained parchment paper, and today we're going to make pockets. So this is my book that I coffee dyed, all as one book, and as you can see, it doesn't get it perfectly coffee dyed, but I love that just the edges are coffee dyed on some pages. Now there are some pages that are more coffee dyed and some pages that are less coffee dyed, and so it kind of gives you a good variety. Now you can spend more time dipping your your book or whatever. See, like here's oh Lord, y'all can't even see good, I'm sorry. So sorry. So here's a page that you can use if you need a fully coffee dyed page. But see, I love how some of these are just coffee dyed in spots. So, like I say, you can, take a little more time and, coffee stain each page. But this is just the way I do it because it's a quick and easy way. And it kind of gives me a variety of different kinds of coffee dyed pages to use. So see, like that one's good and dyed. So anyways, and this sits on my desk, and it sits right over here, so I can just grab it anytime I need something, like a coffee dyed book page or whatever. So yeah, and I'm gonna do a video probably pretty soon and show y'all. I've had a lot of people ask for they want to see all of my coffee dyed papers and stuff. So I'll do a video and show y'all that, and then they wanted to see ways to use it. So I'll try to do something like that too. I mean, there's tons and tons of ways to use coffee dyed paper. So I won't be able to show you all of them, but I'll show you a few things. So anyways, this is this. And so we're going to use some of this to make some pockets. And then, the shiny pages that you get out of, these really pretty floral books and stuff. And you're like, ooh, I just don't want to use the shiny pages. I get it. But we're going to use the shiny pages today and make them pretty pockets. Okay, so here's some of the parchment. Actually, this is all of the parchment paper that I used. Let me just zoom out real quick. I'm on movie. Sorry, I'm not trying to make you dizzy. Okay. Let me just adjust. And there we go. I was just trying to make sure that my tripod was going to hold it. Okay, so these are some of the different ways that I did it. And I love how dark and grungy this one looks. And you can see the coffee stained, in between the areas where the napkins and the book pages are. You can get it as busy as you want it, or, not so busy. Like this one's a little lighter. It didn't coffee stain as much, but I love having the different variety. And this one's a bigger piece. This is about the size of my oven rack, so this is the piece that I would lay off my coffee paper on and lay it out to dry in the oven. Here's one. This one has the labels and things. And then, again, I think I showed you this one already, but this is one that I just put napkins on. And so I thought we could play with it. So we'll make some pockets. We might make some book pages, like journal pages out of them or something. I don't know. We'll see how far we can get in the video. I don't want the video to be too long. But I did want to show you something about this one as well. Sometimes... Sorry about the crinkle. I know we all love the crinkle, but it can be noisy on video, so sorry. Sometimes the parchment paper doesn't want to hold the glue very well. So as you can see here how that piece has come loose from the parchment. I mean, like this whole piece has come loose. So I'm not real sure how to prevent that. I don't know if there's a particular side of the parchment paper that you need to glue on. Like maybe it would have done better if I would have glued it onto this side. I don't know, because sometimes parchment paper has a different feel on each side. So one side's a little bit more waxy feeling or slick feeling than the other side. So maybe I just put this on the wrong side. I don't know. So I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with this one, but I'm going to put it to the side because we're not going to use it until I can figure out where I went wrong. Okay, so let's grab this one. Since I'm going to be working on a botanical journal, see all of the things that I'm doing right now with the coffee dyeing and making those tags and these pockets and all of the things that I'm doing, we are building up to a billowing botanical journal. So we're going to be making one of those on video, but it's a process. So I just want y'all to know that that's what we're working up to with all of these videos. So you know, there are so many steps to making a journal. So if you're just getting started, these are videos that you could watch to help you to know the things that you can do to, you know, get yourself started. So you got to get your coffee dyed paper. Unless you don't want coffee dyed paper. You don't have to have coffee dyed paper. You know, you can make it with regular white paper. I don't tend to like white paper, but, you know, some people do, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So anyways, here we go. We're going to make some pockets. So the first one I want to make is a pocket with some of these. And again, you're thinking, ugh, slick papers. You know, like the slick book pages. But I like using the slick book pages sometimes. You can make some super, super cute pockets out of these book pages. So let's get started. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to cut this here. And so we'll make it, I want to make it a large pocket. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so let's just do that. And I think I'm just going to try and use scissors. Now, y'all know I can't cut straight, so just bear with me. Actually, let's tear this baby. Let's make life easy on Diane. Go. And this you could make a pocket out of very simply just by folding this up. Trying to make sure I don't have upside down words, but it's going to be upside down, so there's not a whole lot I can do with it. So it doesn't really matter if you have upside down words, but you know, you can make a long skinny pocket out of this. So let's just do that. We're just going to hold on to that and we'll make us a long skinny pocket out of that. All right, so now let's tear on this side. I know I'm supposed to be tearing from the side that's the larger side. And I need to tear this side just a little bit. Let me move this. It's driving me insane. Okay. Because it didn't tear very good. Okay. And I don't care if it's perfectly straight or not. You might, and if you do, you know, but I like the jagged look. Okay, now I'm going to tear a little bit off the top here. Oops. And again, I don't care if it's perfectly straight across. As a matter of fact, I hate it when it's perfectly straight across. That's just my style. I just like it all kinds of whacked out, I guess you can say. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to use this side. And then we're going to take another one. Let me see if I can find a good one. Let's use this one. Or, hey, how about like the credits page or the index page or whichever, okay? So, we're going to get rid of the white areas. I'm going to kind of line this up. Not perfectly, but as best I can. Hey, Diane, how about this? Such a dork. Okay. I'm in a goofy mood today, y'all, so you just have to forgive me. All right. Now, then, we're going to take off. Actually, we're not. We're going to fold this, and in folding it, it just gives you a little extra something for the top of your pocket. So, let's take our glue stick and glue this baby down. Doesn't have to be perfect. Glue her down. Okay, and then we're going to decide how far up we want our pocket to go. And I think I want it to be just a hair under halfway. Okay. And tear. Okay. Now I think I need to take a little bit off of this side or either side. But we're going to take it off of this side. Just so that, whoops, we tore him crooked. And I'm okay with that. All right, and then, well, I'm going to wait to do that part. So see, he fits right there. Okay, and then we're going to take our parchment paper and we're just going to kind of measure us a piece to go on top of our pocket. Okay, and I'm going to try and mark it with a pencil. I don't know if it'll do right, but we're going to try it. Okay, it worked okay. And then I'm just going to take my tear ruler. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. I need to check the camera because I'm not sure y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry if I've been out of frame this whole time. I have been. I'm so stinking sorry. I'm such a dork. That's what I get for being in a goofy mood, right? Okay. So I'm just going to tear a little bit up this way. And I'm trying to just tear to this part, but it doesn't have to be, you know, of course, perfectly there, but as close as possible. Okay, now we're going to lay this one here and tear that piece off. And then, yeah, I want to tear this side off because it doesn't have any pretty on it. And then I'm going to tear the bottom just to have a torn edge look. And again, it does not have to be perfect. I love this kind of crafting because if I had to be perfect, I'd never craft a thing in my life. Okay, so I want this to be a little smaller than the pocket itself. So we're going to go a little bit smaller with it. Maybe to there. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I'm just fooling around and playing around, so I'm not trying to make it look hard. Okay. And we're going to go that way with it. Whoops. All right, and then we're going to put it on here. So we're going to have to sew it because, again, this parchment paper doesn't like to it really doesn't love glue to be glued down, okay? So we're going to sew it. So let me scoot my sewing machine over. Oh, I've got it crossed over my phone charger cord. Hang on. Okay, hopefully y'all can see that okay. And then I'm just going to poke it into my little sewing machine here. And I'm doing a zigzag stitch this time just because I just want it to be a little bit decorative. Okay, so here we go. I know the sewing machine's going to be loud, so hang on. And I kind of want it to be messy. And maybe, just maybe, I don't want it all to be a zigzag stitch. Let's do a straight stitch some and make it a little messy. So we're just going to do this, and I'm not going to square off the corners because I kind of want it to be kind of messy. And I'm going to square off this one because I kind of, no, I'm not. I take it back. And sometimes it'll crinkle up, but that's okay because it gives you that good crunch if you let it crinkle. You know, you don't want it to bunch up too much and you don't want it to crinkle up too much. But there you have it. Ooh, I just thought of something I should have done. I should have stitched this a little further in, because what I want to do is I want to punch it. Goodness. Let's move this sewing machine for a second. So what I want to do is I want to punch the top and put a little thumbnail in it that I've got the stitch to a little bit too close. So I don't know that this is going to work, but we're going to try it. And I'm just going to do a teeny tiny thumbnail. But for future reference, make sure, maybe we should punch it first and then stitch it. We're going to try that on the next pocket. Okay, so then we're going to put this here. And then before we put this here, what in the world did I do? Okay, before we put this here, I want to put some parchment up here just to make it pretty. And let's use a different parchment. Let's see. Let me see what else I've got that might could kind of match with this. Maybe this piece. Okay, so let's mark it. So I want to come in from this edge a little bit because, you know, I don't have my napkin all the way over on the edge. So I want to make sure it's pretty. So I'm going to mark it here and here because, again, I want it a little bit smaller than my pocket so that, you know, I've got something to stitch to. I mean, you can let it hang off the pocket if you want to. But that's just kind of my preference. All right, and then I'm going to lay this here. And I'm going to come down a little so that I can tear at the top there. And then I'm going to come down a little bit below this pocket just to make sure, you know, we can get our stitching right. Okay, so let's go ahead and tear this. And then we'll tear it right here. And again, I am not a perfectionist. I always have been. You know, I came from the scrapbooking world. And in scrapbooking, when you made your layout pages, you know, you wanted that pristine and perfect. But with junk journaling, it's completely different. And I had to learn that. Like, I had to allow myself. It was a struggle for me in the beginning because I had to allow myself to be okay with it not being perfect and being a little messy. So that was an adjustment for me. But I absolutely love the imperfect. Love it. Okay, so we're going to go there with that. And then we're going to just do our torn edge on the top. Whoops. That's okay though, because I kind of want it like that. All right, so then we're going to put this here. And see, I love how the green is peeking out from around it. And then, let me move all of this out of the way. We will pull our sewing machine back over. Let me adjust the camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at this corner. No, I'm not. I take it back. I'm going to start at this corner and go across this way, which you can start at this corner and go across this way too. It's a left-handed thing. Y'all just bear with me. All right, so here we go. And again, I think I'm going to go with the straight stitch because, again, I want it to kind of look messy. Whoops. Y'all see what I did? I just ran right off the page. So when that happens, just put him back under there. It's okay. You can laugh at yourself, I promise. Nobody will kill you if you run off the page. Hopefully. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of a zigzag stitch in here. Just to kind of go with the same. And then we're going to go back to our straight stitch. And keep running it around. And then we're going to stop. And I'm going to add a little bit of a zigzag stitch over here. Now, of course, I have a setting on my machine that allows you to do a straight stitch with a zigzag, but am I using that? No, I'm going back and forth like a dodo, but that's okay. Okay, now we're going to go back to the straight stitch. And then, as I'm coming down here to meet this, I'm going to stop right before I get to it. I didn't go all the way because I want to add my pocket now. Now, you can glue this pocket on because you have paper on the back. So you can actually glue. You know what? I think we will. Let's glue it on since we've already stitched this. Let's just finish this then. Uh-oh, I confused it. I'm going to back stitch just a couple. There we go. Let's just glue it on since we already stitched this. Okay. And again, I am sure that you can find a much easier way to do it, but this is just how I'm doing it. I am literally being a goofball tonight. Okay, let's see. We're going to use our well, what is the name of the glue? Oh my goodness, it's just completely left my brain. Hang on, I'm trying to get the sticky off of it. It's been a minute since I used this bottle. I don't even know if there's any left in here. Yep, there is. Y'all, this glue is in my links below, my Amazon links, if you're looking for some glue that's just as good and possibly even better than art glitter glue, but cheaper. This is the glue for you. But I just can't think of the name of it right now, and this is not the normal bottle that it comes in. You know what? Just let me grab the bottle. I still have the bottle. Hold on. I'm such a dork. Reptile glue. It's reptile glue. I kept wanting to say alligator glue for some reason. I knew that wasn't right, but okay. So we're going to glue him on here. And of course, I always get too much glue because you don't have to use very much of this glue at all. Now, you can ink the edges of this or do, you know, add any extras that you want, but this is a very simple and easy way to make a pocket without a whole lot of fuss, and it turns out beautifully. It makes a really, really pretty pocket. Okay, maybe we've got all that excess. And see how, I love how the parchment paper, oh, sorry. Let me adjust the camera. Much better. I'm all kinds of crooked today. Maybe I'm just whacked out today. Anyways, I love how, you know, the edges are, you know, just kind of crinkled up. And even if you want to fold them up and, you know, just kind of give them that dimensional effect, you can do that. And I love how, like the book page actually comes out from the background, and then you've got that nice crinkly parchment paper feel, so it gives you a good texture. It gives you a nice crinkle. These are just wonderful. I love, love, love these pockets. And then you can just glue it down on a page, and you can make it a side pocket or a tall, long pocket. Of course, you can make them smaller or whatever, but I love these, and I love the way they come out with the collaging. And, you know, like I used 2 different parchment sheets for this, but they go together so well because it's all botanical. So there you go. So real quick, where are we on our time? Let's try to make a book page one real quick. So hang on, let me grab my stuff for it. Okay, so you remember when we made the tags and we had the little pieces that were left over? well, we can use these and make pockets. So I have this little piece too. So we're going to grab, I have this one that I glued 2 book pages together just to make it a little more sturdy. And then we will take one of these, and it doesn't have to be, I don't, particularly have to have it completely coffee dyed because, oh, well, I just don't need it that way. Okay, so we can take our tear ruler and I'm tearing off all the white edges just because I don't, I just want the words. Oh, let's use this side. It has better words. Okay, and because this is a thin coffee dyed paper, I'm going to fold him in half, and I probably should have torn him after I folded him in half, but that's okay. Whoops, I'm knocking things off. And then take one of these, and we'll use it as a glue pad or a glue page, whichever. And I'm just going to glue this together. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to sew on it. But if you're not going to sew, make sure you get your edges. Okay, and then we're just going to fold him and stick him together. My honey's home. You might hear some noise because he's coming in the door. Alright, so we've got our pocket put together, and you can ink it if you want to, or however. I'm not going to ink it. Okay, so then this will go here as the pocket. So we're going to add some of our pretty goodies, and I think I want to add this piece because won't that be pretty with that little leafy edge up there at the top? So let's just go ahead and start tearing. That one ain't gonna tear good. I was trying to keep the stitching edge, but I might not be able to. We'll try. Oops. Well, I tore it off. Doggone it. Oh well. Okay, so then let's just go this way. Tear that. And again, doesn't have to be perfect because I don't like perfect. Oh, let's go this way with it. And I'm just going to go right down the edge of those leaves. Oops. It's a little bit tougher to tear the parchment paper, but I mean, it's not, it's not too hard. Okay. So now I kind of, again, like it messy. I'm going to take a little bit off this side. Okay. And then we're just going to put him right here. Make sure he's not too big. Okay, now we're going to be smart and punch our little punch before we stitch. Okay. Just trying to line it up. There we go. Okay. Now, if this is too plain, I just feel like it needs something else. So I'm going to grab a little piece to put on there. Hang on. Okay, so I have all of these pretty little flowers. So let's add one of these. Nope. These might be too big. That one might work. And these are kind of 3D, so, but that's okay. All right, so I guess I better put the lid on my glue. Move this out of the way because we got to pull over our sewing machine. trying to hurry because I'm trying to not make this video super long. Okay, so let's go ahead, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a zigzag stitch. So hopefully you can see. And I'm just going to do it right through the middle of this flower. I'm just going to push my flower up in there a little. Okay. So now our flower is on there. We've got our little thumb tab punched. And then we will go this way, and we're going to go with a straight stitch again. And again, I'm going for kind of a messy look, so we're not going to square off our corners. Okay, and we're going to stitch right across this way and leave that, that leafy part not covered with the stitching. Okay. Now, whoops, we're going to take, and I think I want to leave the book page just like it is. Maybe we might put some napkin or something on there. So we'll go ahead, let me scoot the sewing machine over and adjust the camera. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this one down. And again, we can glue this part because it's not the parchment paper. Okay, and we're just going to lay that right into our book page. Give it just a second to grab. It doesn't take long with the reptile glue. There we go. And then I have a napkin. Actually, we're going to use some of my rice paper. This is in one of the rice paper. I think this is in the collage style rice paper. So, let's take our edge off. I like the rice paper because it's a little easier to tear than the napkins are. And then I think I want this part with that pretty little stamp. So, I'll tear that way. And about right here. And then there we go. And with the rice paper, you can either use a glue stick or you can use Mod Podge or your homemade Mod Podge, which is just school glue. I use the cheap school glue. I don't even buy Elmer's because it's a little more expensive than the cheap stuff. And you just do half and half water and glue. That's how I do mine. Okay, so we're just going to take our glue. And you can glue right on the back of this rice paper, just like this. You have to be a little careful, you know, because it's very thin, but it will allow you to do this. Another reason why I kind of like the rice paper a little better than the napkins. Okay, and then we're just going to glue this right down here. That. Now, if you want it to be a little bit more transparent, then use your, your Mod Podge. But I like it like this because you can still see the book page through there. Hopefully you can see. So you can still see the words and stuff through the rice paper. And so there is our book page pocket. So we have a book page pocket or a shiny book page pocket. Quick and easy. You've already got all your decorating done, and it doesn't take very long to do them. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for me if you will. And I'll see you in the next video. Big hugs.